Hello. This week, something really unusual happened. Twitter decided to put a warning next to President Trump's tweets, warning the public that the comments he was making were unsubstantiated and that they really should verify the facts for themselves. Now, I hope you agree with me, this is an extraordinary thing to happen. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to get into politics. What really interests me about this is the way people have reacted. If you're a Republican, you're going to be absolutely outraged that anybody would accuse President Trump of being less than truthful. And if you're a Democrat, you find that really so risible. Of course he's lying. And what bothers me is the fact that we have all got to the stage where we allow our political bias, or if not politics, our bias, to determine what is truth. Society seems to have lost the ability to define truth. We allow our own opinions to determine what is true and what is a lie. My opinion is that the truth is important. As I heard a story quite a long time ago about a man who got a job as a personal assistant to a very important man, very high up in his business. And on his first day, the personal assistant took a phone call, and the person on the other end of the phone said, "Can I please speak to Mr. So-and-so, his boss?" And so he covered the phone and he said, "Excuse me, sir, I have Mr. So-and-so on the phone for you." And his boss said, "Oh, tell him I'm not here." And he said, "I'm just passing you over," and gave the phone to his boss, who took the phone and dealt with the call but was absolutely furious. And when he put the phone down, he said, "I told you to tell him I was not here." And the guy, the PA, said to him, "Sir, if I can lie for you, I can lie to you." And his boss was so impressed with that that he kept that man on, and he remained his personal assistant for many years and was trusted because he had shown that he had integrity. I believe that my point of view, what benefits me, should not influence how I view the truth, because then I'm not interested in truth. What I'm interested in is being right. And the trouble with the way things are at the moment is that not only can people now not even distinguish between what is true and what is a lie, but after a while they cease to care. It becomes unimportant. We resort to tribalism. So my party is right, what my party says is true, or what your party says is a lie because my party is true. And we've lost that objectivism, that interest, that passion for truth. And as Christians, we should have a passion for truth. The Holy Spirit is the Spirit of truth. The Bible tells us that God cannot lie. He can't do it. He is the truth. There is no lie in him. He cannot deceive, because lying is, after all, deception. God can't do it. The Bible is really quite definite about that and has a lot to say about liars and lying. And if you think about it, it's terribly hurtful. If you find out that someone has lied to you or about you, and especially if that person is someone that you love or respect or trust, the relationship is ruined. How can you possibly restore that relationship when you have been betrayed in that way? And lies are so damaging. If you lie about someone, then you are destroying their reputation. You might even ruin their chances of getting a job, or of keeping a job, or a position. That's why one of the 10 Commandments is you shall not bear false witness against your neighbour. Lies are incredibly harmful, not only on the big world scale, but on the small personal scale in our interpersonal relationships. Now, I was brought up to believe that lying was the worst thing you could do. I remember many times being caught out in some sort of mischief, particularly with my sister, and standing in front of my parents, probably a bit tearful, and being told, "Now, Virginia, did you do that? If you tell me the truth, you will not be punished, but don't lie to me." And of course, I told the truth, and I was forgiven, and I wasn't punished. And that I have always held that to be true, that telling the truth is vitally important. It preserves the sanctity of a relationship. It preserves integrity between people. Do you remember the story of the boy who cried wolf? A wonderful moral tale about the boy who was minding the sheep, I think it was sheep, up on the hills outside the town, and he got terribly bored with it. And so one day he ran into town saying, "Wolf, wolf!" And all the men ran out and they ran up onto the hills to see off the wolves, and there weren't any. So the boy was told off and didn't learn his lesson. He did it again. And this time fewer men ran out and ran up to the hill, and everyone was very, very annoyed with him. And of course, the third time he did it, nobody came running. And the third time he did it, there really was a wolf. I remember that story very well. I'm sure many of you do as well. It is important to tell the truth. The truth matters. It matters for us in our families, in our friendships and communities. It matters in our world. As a Christian, it matters. It is our enemy who is the prince of lies. And we really can't be having a foot in both camps. Thank you for listening to me.